Hey guys, it's Laura. How you doing? Okay, I'm going to try to get through this video. I just left T-Mobile. I just bought more storage. So, I was talking about surrendering yesterday and about right when my mom died. So my mom died at 51 and I got sober, at 50. Let me pick my nose on camera. At 50 and I remember when I was coming up on being 50, my granddaughter was about to be born. She was born in July of 2018, and I got sober in 2018 also, but I didn't get sober until after she was born in November. So, good one, Grandma. Anyway, when I finally surrendered in November, she had already been alive for a few months. But I remember being over at a friend's house, and this sounds really bad, but Ava was born, and this girl, I was going to the restroom, and I saw her in the corner of my eye, and she was she had a wire hanger, and she was scraping the pipe, the meth pipe, which if you know and you're an addict, that doesn't even work. You can only do that with crack, not meth. So I don't know what the hell she was doing, but I had voiced that I didn't want to be that kind of grandmother. I just didn't want to be that kind of grandmother. So I went about 13 days and went sober. And I can remember people, places, and things. I was at the same house, and somebody had some stuff, and it went by my nose, and I said, I grabbed for it, and my friend said, I thought you didn't want to be that kind of grandmother. And I said, oh, just one. So that was a couple of months before. But when I finally surrendered is when I called that girlfriend, because I was 50. I was freaking out that if I didn't get sober, that I might pass away at 51 like my mom. So I was really scared, and I that was one of the reasons why I eventually got sober, was that Ava, obviously, my kids, obviously, my best friend that's in the recovery as well, and watching her, and she has I think almost 8 years, or maybe 8 years, but she had 8 years before that 8 years. So she's had a lot more sobriety than me, and I'm thankful for her every day because she's a big inspiration in my life. Shout out to you. You know who you are. Anyway, when I did surrender, though, I was still lying in my addiction. My aunt came and saw me in the rehab that I went to, the women's center that I was directed to by a recovering addict. And she came in, and I was like quick to say that it was only alcohol. It was just alcohol, and looking back, going back to my enabling, she should have said, okay, don't you think it's time to get honest? We know it's not just for alcohol. I mean, she had to know, right? Although I avoided the court systems and never got in trouble and always had on a pretty face, if you will, but she had to know. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask her that, though. Anyway, she was enabling me by, letting me give her a line of bullshit. She should have said, bullshit, I know, let's get honest here. Because I could tell by her face, she was like, yeah, right, okay, it's fine, dear, it's fine, we love you. And, I really appreciated her coming to see me. But when you finally decide to surrender, in your mind, not just, I internalized it for some years, but when I finally did something about it, boy, you really, it is life is so different now, and I'm so thankful for the people that I've met at the Women's Center that I was directed to. I have a family full of women that I just can't imagine that my life wouldn't have them in it if I wouldn't have found recovery. So thank you to the women that I have met in recovery. I truly, truly honor you every day. I think of your pain, how strong. I have a couple of people that stick out in my mind that, one little girl, she is doing so good, but I mean, she was basically walking down the street, left a trap house, didn't know where she was going, what she was going to do, and got in the car with a man, and thank God, he was an angel. He directed her to the Women's Center, and she is now an active member of society. She's real young. She's going to college. She has a great job. Shout out to that man that gave her a ride to Women's Center. My God, she was so scared, so helpless, so hopeless, just terrified. I can remember her sharing, and I just was hugging her. We fell in love with each other immediately. I really have a soft spot for her. And there's a couple of them that, changed my life. And I want to thank everybody that has decided to get clean and sober in their life and want to make a change, want to do better in their life. I commend you. I just started off on these videos. I'm babbling, I know, but I really am passionate about trying to spread the word of what happened to me in my 35 years of drug addiction, and how I got there, and what happened while I was there, and the people that I've met, and the terrible places I've been, and mainly in my head. Tell that shitty committee to get out of your head. It was all in my head. If I could have just stepped away from myself just for a minute, but I wasn't ready to admit that I had a problem. I was so filled with trauma and death and disappointment and, divorce, death, more death. I mean, it consumed me. And so what I decided to do was to mask the way that I feel. Now, thank God, I can wake up clean, sober, a good night's rest, trying to eat better because I'm an emotional eater. We're going to go back to my background video, but I wanted to finish up my surrendering video. So with that note, I'd like to thank God for letting me do this video today, and I hope I can inspire somebody or make somebody laugh. That's all I'm trying to do, and I love you guys. I'm hoping that you have a blessed and fulfilled day, and make good choices. Bye.